I want to challenge something. If all these global standards, USAP, RICS, TEGOVA, IVS-aligned frameworks are trying to achieve the same goal, then why does the valuation profession still struggle with credibility issues in some cases?
Very important question. And honestly, this is where theory ends and professional reality begins. Standards do not create credibility automatically. People applying them do. So this entire chapter, Overview of Global Valuation Standards, is not just about frameworks. It's about how they actually function in the real world. Exactly. Let us not treat this as information. Let us treat it as professional thinking architecture.
Let's go from the left again. Early practices.
Yes, because the problem existed before the solution. Valuation based on personal judgment, local customs, experience. Now think critically. If two villages valued land differently, it was acceptable. But when global investors entered, chaos started. As capital crossed borders, investors compared markets. Need emerged for a common language of value. RICS UK, Appraisal Foundation USA, TEGOVA Europe.
So these are not just organizations, they are responses to market pressure?
Exactly. Standards are market-driven necessities, not academic inventions. USAP seems very structured, almost rigid. Yes, and that rigidity is intentional. Rules, ethics, competency define behavior. Scope of work defines depth. Standards define methodology. Statements clarify ambiguity.
So USAP reduces ambiguity by being very specific?
Yes, but here is a critical insight. Too much rigidity can limit professional judgment.
So RICS balances that?
Exactly. Ethics-driven, principle-based, judgment-oriented. Now think deeply. USAP asks, did you follow rules? RICS asks, did you act professionally and justify your reasoning?
So one is compliance, the other is accountability?
Beautifully put. And TEGOVA?
Europe needed something aligned with banking systems and mortgage security.
Supports lending decisions, financial stability. This shows something important. Standards evolve based on economic priorities of regions.
So countries still maintain their own standards?
Yes, because legal systems differ, land laws differ, market maturity differ. Deep insight, global harmony does not mean identical systems. It means aligned principles with local adaptation.
So what is the common backbone?
Let us identify it clearly. All standards demand transparency, disclosure, consistency, documentation, ethical conduct. But here is the deeper truth. Standards cannot enforce honesty, only structure.
Value versus cost versus price, this seems simple but often confused.
Yes, and this confusion creates major valuation errors. Critical example, market price inflated due to speculation, cost lower, true value somewhere else. A valuer must not become a price follower. He must remain a value interpreter.
Why is HPU present in all standards?
Because value is not static, it is potential driven. Critical thinking, land today, parking, tomorrow commercial tower. If you ignore HPU, you undervalue or misvalue.
This part feels more philosophical than technical.
Yes, because this is the soul of valuation. Fiduciary meaning, you are trusted, your opinion influences financial decisions. Now think, a bank gives you 50 crore loan based on your report. Are you just doing a calculation?
No, that's a huge responsibility. Now this bottom section, insurance, due diligence.
This is where many valuers fail in practice. Critical components, due diligence, title, zoning, physical verification, market validation, engagement clarity, scope, assumptions, limitations, documentation, audit trail, evidence. If it is not documented, it is not defensible.
And market trends?
Valuation does not happen in isolation. Influencing factors, location theory, externalities, agglomeration, policy changes. A valuer must constantly ask, what is driving this value?
So if I challenge the system, standards exist, frameworks exist, yet errors happen. Is the real issue not the system, but the application?
Absolutely. Reality check, standards available, knowledge available, tools available, but bias, pressure, lack of discipline create failures.
So global valuation standards are not a guarantee of correctness, but a framework for disciplined thinking?
Exactly. A professional valuer is not defined by which standard he follows, but by how honestly and intelligently he applies it. That is the difference between a compliant valuer and a credible valuer.